Liv Morgan is teasing a big new look, but are any big character changes connected with the new look? We'll also check out the latest with the Judgment Day and a WWE superstar teasing Bray Wyatt's return. Let's start things off with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is at a very critical point right now with her character. SummerSlam was an accidental, dirty win for Liv Morgan. She was booed by the crowd the following week on SmackDown because of that dirty win, but everything appears to be heading back to normal again for Liv Morgan's crowd reaction. But like we've been talking about, it appears that Clash at the Castle will tell us a lot about Liv's future direction and character changes. If she gets a clean win over Shayna Baszler, then that'll be great. It'll be a massive win and will start to establish her as a champion. But if she can't get a clean win and picks up another dirty win, this time intentionally, then now Liv's character could potentially be heading down the full heel route. And what usually comes with one of the biggest character changes? Well, a complete makeover and new look is something that we usually see for a big character change like that. Liv Morgan has just started teasing a big new look on Twitter. She posted a photoshopped image of herself with much darker hair along with the emoji eyes. She then responded to another fan commenting on the dark hair and told them to stay tuned. So Liv is flat out pointing it out there that a completely new look may be on the way for herself. So if Liv is changing up her entire look, it does make everyone wonder if a new complete shift in character could be coming up soon in the immediate future as well. Is Liv about to go from an underdog babyface champion to a sneaky and cheating heel champion? A character change like that could be on the horizon, but no one knows for sure. But what does seem to definitely be on the way is a new look and appearance for Liv Morgan. We'll have to wait and see if her appearance will have any ties and connections to a character change as well. Let's drop back into the Judgment Day versus Edge and Rey Mysterio storyline. Dominic Mysterio was nowhere to be seen this week, following the beatdown Rhea Ripley gave him the week prior. So Judgment Day comes out for a promo about everything that's been happening lately. Rey Mysterio bravely gets into the ring and tries to take on the Judgment Day 3-on-1, but eventually the numbers advantage is too much for Rey to handle, and they beat him down. We know obviously Dominic wasn't in the building, so he couldn't help, and neither was Edge. Edge was nowhere to be found when Rey Mysterio needed him the most. So it'll be interesting to see if they revisit what Dominic was talking about of not trusting Edge. Is Edge on their side? Where was he when Rey Mysterio needed him during that beatdown? Another small logic flaw for when it comes to a beatdown like this is when you ask yourself, why doesn't anyone backstage help Rey Mysterio? He's been in the WWE locker room for 20 years. He's known some talent back there for even longer. He has more friends than enemies. How come no one came out to help him? Guess you can assume that no one came out to make the save because then they would have been inserted into the storyline. So maybe that's the reason why. But not even the WWE officials and backstage personnel went out there to help Rey Mysterio during this beatdown. But later in the show, a whole bunch of WWE officials came out from the back to break up a fight in the women's division. So that was the little thing that fans pointed out. How come no one at all helped Rey Mysterio out? The story will continue next week when Edge is set to fully take on Damian Priest, where Edge will have the home field advantage since that match will take place in Canada. So we should get a great match from those two, and it should push the story forward as we get closer and closer to Clash at the Castle. Everyone expects to see Edge versus Finn Balor at Clash, so maybe that's still a possibility. Maybe Damian Priest can even face Rey Mysterio on the show as well to give him something to do. As far as Rhea Ripley goes, sure, she'll take part in the beatdowns, but it doesn't look like WWE will be pulling the trigger on a fully intergender match right now. So she'll likely be a manager for those potential Clash at the Castle matches. The wildcard story will of course be Dominic. Last time we saw Dominic, he was furious at his father for taking Edge's side over his, and we didn't get to see where that was going since he was taken out moments later by Rhea Ripley. So once Dominic Mysterio gets back to Raw, it'll be interesting to see where his mindset is at. Is he upset with his father? Does he still not trust Edge? Is he looking to split from them? Lots of unanswered questions there that Dominic will have to answer with his eventual return to Raw. The buzz and rumors for Bray Wyatt's return has been in the air a lot over the last few weeks. The fans have mostly been the ones fueling the rumors, but there is one superstar who continues to heavily tease working with Bray Wyatt, and that's Karrion Kross. The hype for these two to eventually meet in the ring all started back in 2020. Karrion Kross and Scarlett were doing their thing in NXT at the same time that Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss were doing their own thing on the main roster. Then once word started going around that Kross was on his way to the main roster, a big dream match that started being thrown around by some fans was the idea of Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. There was a lot of similarities between the two duos, especially at the time. Scarlett seemed to be the one in control of everything related to Kross, and like we saw develop over time, Alexa Bliss started gaining some control over The Fiend as well. So seeing these two duos that mirror each other, but still had big differences, was a big mixed tag team match that everyone wanted to see. Unfortunately, everything fell apart for that dream match in 2021, when Bray Wyatt was released and Karrion Kross lost Scarlett from his character presentation. But with Karrion Kross and Scarlett returning to WWE, Alexa Bliss being in a complete limbo with her usage, and rumors of a Bray Wyatt returning soon, fans are wondering if the dream match possibly could be back on. Karrion Kross has been reposting fan-made graphics on Kross and Scarlett versus Wyatt and Bliss onto his Instagram stories over the last few days. He even reposted another fan-made graphic of a big Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross versus Bray Wyatt fatal 4-way match. So Kross is not shying away from the idea at all. He really wants to work with Bray Wyatt in any capacity, and is really excited about that. Bray is a supporter of Karrion Kross as well. They went back and forth on Twitter, and Bray even liked WWE's tweet about Kross's return. So there's a lot of mutual respect there between the two. So it'll be really interesting to see if they both get their wish to work with each other, and how that story would be like with the both of them being fresh off WWE returns. But what are your thoughts on all of today's stories with Liv Morgan, Judgment Day, and Karrion Kross? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.